Good morning. Today we've decided that we're gonna try to do some more instructional videos about collar conditioning, how we get folks dogs started, how we start our therapy dogs, our puppy program, really all of our programs. Every dog gets a remote training collar, and so we thought it might be a great video for us to do just to show folks how we get that started. And so really the first part in it is Jules is that we want to test the collar. We want to make sure that it's functioning properly and all those types of things before we ever place it on the dog. We wouldn't want to place something on a dog that's not functioning to peak performance. And so really how we do that is we get it powered on, and there's instructional videos that get sent out to all of our clients to explain to them how to turn these collars on and how they operate and all of that type of stuff. But really, we haven't really done how do you test this thing. And there's a lot of times that I take phone calls, sales calls for folks where I have to explain to them how the collar works and all that type of stuff. And a frequent question is, well, have you ever felt it or ever done that? And well, the answer is yes, because we test our collars. And so Carrie's going to bring the video a little bit closer here so that we can zoom in on the collar, and you can see that it's already turned on. I have it turned on already. There's a blinking green light. It's on 0 right now, and so if I push the button, it doesn't do anything. You can see that there's no red flash or anything, but if I turn it up just to a 1 or a 2 even at that, I'll turn it up to
goes
a
to
2.
100, so 2's, yeah.
Yeah, 2 is really, really low. In fact, when I push the button, you can see both of the red lights light on. I cannot even feel that. And so really what we do is I just turn it up, and so you can see I have it on a 11 now, and I'll push the button, and I still can't even feel that on my hands yet. And so for me, I have to turn it all the way up to a 15 before I feel the stimulation, and I can barely feel that. And if you look at my hands, I mean, I'm pushing down on it, so I'm kind of getting an indentation on there, but it gets up to a 15. Now I can feel that there, but it's just barely. And so I know that the collar is functioning properly because the light's coming on. I feel the stimulation. I feel the stimulation at where I'm used to feeling the stimulation at, and both things are activating properly. And so now I'm going to turn it back down. I'm going to turn it all the way back down to a 0 and put the collar.
This is Jules, by the way. Jules is, I should have looked up her birthday. I think she's about 3.5 months, almost 4 months, between 3 and 4 months old. She's been with us since she was brought home to her family. She's in our polished puppy program, so she'll stay here for a full 4 months of training. She will go from an 8-week-old puppy to a whatever 8 plus 16 weeks is. What is it, like 20-week-old pup? No,
Yeah.
24-week-old puppy.
6 months.
6 months. And then she'll go home. So she'll stay with us for a full 4 months. And so when she goes home, she'll be completely e-collar trained, on and off the leash. She'll be trained in public like all of our other dogs. She'll be crate trained, obviously, and house trained and all of that stuff. So the family that got Jules as a puppy decided that they just didn't have the time, or really the time, but sometimes it's the desire too to have a puppy, and so they sought us out as an alternative to be able to get the dog that they wanted, and then also have her be young when she came home. So anyway, so Jules has been with us for a month now. She's on her 2nd month of training, and we are just now starting the e-collar. We normally don't start them on puppies this young, but because we've had her for the duration, for all of her life essentially, we can do it on younger dogs if the right ones, which in this case, she qualifies.
She's ready. She's
yeah,
definitely
but normal
ready
client
for it,
dogs,
right.
we don't start the e-collar until they're at least 16 weeks old. So she's a little bit under, but we can do that because we've laid all the foundational work in that first month we've had her, which if you go back to our Facebook page and look, you can see all of that foundational stuff that Jim has done with the long lead and treats and teaching her. So anyway, she's got the collar fitted on her. It's nice and snug, and
it's really important that it is snug on there. That's one of the biggest. if we get anything from clients back when dogs first go home, that are, you know, the dog's just not really responding well, those types of things, it is almost inevitably always the same thing. It's that the collar is
Right.
too loose.
Right.
We've seen times, you know, where we've looked at it and the collar's being more worn as jewelry than it is as a training aid. And that just doesn't work for a couple of reasons. I mean, first of all, they don't get the stimulation consistently, and so that's really bad for the dog. But you know, also, it may just not work at all. So you want to make sure that it's on tight, that it's on there sort of snug. You want to be careful, you know, I mean, you're not cutting off air passages or anything like that. But I mean, it should be high around the neck here.
Right behind the ears.
Right behind the ears, and you should be able to kind of nest it in.
So this is the E-collar, and then this is her regular collar down here. So not where the regular collar goes, tight behind the ears is where the collar should be
Right.
positioned
And
and
so-
snug.
Right, and so we haven't taught Jules with the e-collar.
Right.
This is the first time that it's been
Never-
on her.
right.
All the commands that she's been taught, and if you have been following us or you go back and look, you'll see that all the commands, just as I tell all of our clients when we're working, our initial start out really is to teach them with treats, positive motivation, things of that nature. And so that's really what we've done. And what we're working with her is something that we already know she knows. And so that makes it really easy to work with and condition with her the collar. When you start to talk about the collar, Jules has no idea what this collar is, what the stimulation she's going to feel, any of that. She's got no clue.
Right.
And so our aim here is to teach her what that means. And so it's really good for us to work with something that she already knows and already knows well, because now I can teach her what that stimulation now means. And so that's what we're about to do. Now you can see I turned it all the way back down to 0. And so now I'm going to turn it up to a 1.
I'll do it too.
You go to a 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the first
I'll
thing we
go
gotta
to
do
a
is-
2,
yeah,
and
we've
really,
gotta-
all we're trying to do at this point in time, as you can see, I'm gonna push the button.
So we're
and
gonna,
let
we're
me
gonna
pull
try,
her
let's explain what
out.
we're doing. So we're gonna try to find her level. So every dog has what we call a working level, which is a level that they can just feel the collar at. Not that they're gonna, you know, do what you're asking or stop doing something, but just the level that they can feel the collar without any distractions or anything going on. Just they're working, what level can they feel the collar at? So we have to figure that out first with Jules, because we have never put the collar on her. So we do that by putting it on its lowest settings and just slowly going up one level at a time and just pushing the collar to see how she responds, to see what response we can get, if any. And when we get a response from her, when we can tell that she's actually feeling it, I might have to go back into the garage out of there's so many smells and things in the gravel. When we find that she's feeling it, then that's her working level. That's a level we know that she can feel the collar at, and that's where we stay at until we get into our next level or the next phase of training. So the first phase is your teaching phase, and you're going to always use your working levels. Like she can just feel the collar, right? So we're starting off with a 2 because nobody ever. I mean, we never use a 1.
Right.
We've had a few 2s, but never a 1. And so he's not going to say anything at all to her. We need to bring her away from the distraction. You don't really want her to be just too distracted. I mean, she's used to all this.
Pull back up into the garage?
Yeah,
or-
it doesn't matter.
let's
Just
see.
she's used to
Okay.
all this
Right.
because she's been here for a month. So this is a huge distraction. The cats, are very normal. That's fine right there. I wouldn't
Okay.
want to. And then just let me know whenever you're pushing it.
I'm pushing the
I
button.
can't see her. So he's pushing it, and don't let her walk. Just stand right there. And now he's pushing it, and she's not doing anything. So we're going to go up to a 3. Let's show.
Yeah, go up to a 3. We're on a
Okay.
3.
He's pushing
So
it.
I push it. Nope. She responded to a 3. Did you see her head?
No, do it again.
See that? She's,
I didn't see anything.
yeah, I think she is.
Just hold it. Do it again.
No, maybe not. She picked her head up
You don't
when
want
her
to
head
move.
was
You can
down.
stand in one
Right.
spot. Okay, so let's go up to a 4. Usually
All right,
it's
so
between
we're on
like
a
a 4
4.
and a 6. Let's show.
We're on a 4 now. All right, going back. I didn't pull it.
Just keep holding it. No, I'm not seeing much there either.
Okay. So we're on a
Go
5
to a
now.
5.
Push it. Push.
Okay, so now she's scratching. So there's our level. We're going to be at a 5. So when we test it, we hold the button down. We're not just tapping. We're holding it down. So she's continually feeling the collar, and then we just wait and see if she does anything. You know, it's a continuous. It's a constant until we release it. And then as soon as we get a reaction from her, then we let it go. We know she's felt it. So we're going to start off Jules in the muddy gravel
Yeah.
at a 5. So that's her working level. And so what did we say you got up to, a 15 before you felt it?
Right.
So
And
5
I
is,
barely feel it even at a 15.
Right.
I can feel it, but just barely.
it's a very low level. Yeah, it's very, very, very low. So it can be hard to tell what level, you know, is they're feeling it at, because it's just a real subtle. You'll just sometimes see their eyes, you know, I mean, it's even hard for me. Somebody's done it, 20 years. Sometimes it's just really hard to tell. But if I ever have a dog, and there's a few that I really just can't tell, then I always err on the side of caution. Never want to go up too high and use level 10. And because that's still very low level, and I stick with that level for my first few training sessions. And when I'm ready to proof the dog and figure out, do they really know what I'm asking? Do I really know if they understand the collar? And if I proof them at that level and they don't respond the way I want them to, then that wasn't the right level for them. And so it might set us back a little bit. I'm going to go up and find a different level, but it doesn't happen very often. And it's, but it is a way to proof them, because after several days of using the working level, after several sessions rather of their working level, then you're going to be able to, they're going to know what they're supposed to do. And if they don't, and you proof them and they don't, then that wasn't your right working level. So there's ways around it, but usually that's pretty rare. Usually we can find a level, pretty easy. So anyway, so we're at a 5. So that's going to be the level that we're going to use for all of our early training sessions with Jules until we're ready to start varying our levels. But we're going to keep it at the working level until we know that she really understands what it means, right? Okay.
Yes. Yep. And so, like we were saying earlier, we're doing this with the command that we've already taught her. She already knows what the command is, and so
Back away.
really what we're gonna do is I'm gonna press the button and ask her to come to me, and then I will release the button the minute she turns her head and starts to come back to me, and then I'll use my bridge word,
Which you already taught her.
which she's already knows as well. And what she'll do is she'll start to make a connection with what that stimulation means and coming back to me. And so I'm going to do that now. Jules, here. Yes! Good, Anna girl, good, yes!
Okay,
Alright.
so he pushed the button, gave the command. As soon as she turned to come, he gave the bridge word that she already knows means a treat, like your clicker. And so she's learning at the same time that she feels something. She knows to come when she hears the word here, and so her name. And so when she turns, she gets her bridge word plus that strange feeling stops. And she gets her treat. Let's show it again. Try to do it from this. Stay there.
All right.
You can take some more slack out. It doesn't have to be right necessarily the whole length of the leash away. I'm trying to, because I wasn't able to see her.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
you kind of let her get distracted a little bit, and not necessarily distracted, but just kind of move around and no.
Jules, here. Yes! Good.
So he's holding the button down, so we teach them that the collar goes until they do something. Every dog is taught that for every command. So in this case, Jules is learning that the collar goes until you got to stay back far enough that I can get you both, until she turns to come. And then if the collar stops, and she gets her treat. So,
Jules,
collar.
here. Yes! Good, very good. That's a good
And you see, she's happy. She's like, what are we doing? Let's walk this way maybe and go a different way. Because Jules is, when it's a brand new dog, they're not used to this area. And so one spot can
Jules, here. Yes!
trying to keep all of them in the camera, but it's hard to do with
Very
this.
good.
But because Jules has been here for her life, and being raised here, she knows all this, so it's not a huge distraction. Or
Jules, here.
Yes, that a girl. Very good.
so the leash is there to guide her in case she did get into trouble, and we use it a lot more for dogs who haven't been here, like Jules, and haven't, used. If she didn't know the recall command, or if we weren't sure, we'd be using it a lot more. But we know that every time you get close to me, I can't get you both. Oops, he dropped the leash. This is real life, people. This is how it looks.
Jules,
It's
here.
Yes, that a girl. Very nice.
So we're not really pulling her in as much as we are just kind of putting that leash pressure on to teach her that the leash pressure means come our way and that it stops as soon as she turns.
Jules,
Because
here.
this,
Yes, very nice.
you kind of see her shake her head a little bit, that's her feeling the collar. So we're not trying to get her to scream or yelp or cry out in pain. It's nothing like you
Yeah.
think it is. It's
This
just
is a teaching session.
feeling it.
We're
She's just
teaching her
Right.
what the collar is with something that she already knows, that it's already a well-established command for
like,
her.
I'm done.
Jules, here.
Yes, that a girl.
Right.
Very nice.
She already knows it, and yeah, it's just a matter of overlaying it with the collar now to teach her, how to turn that collar off and what that feeling is.
It's important to teach that this is a teaching session. Jules, here.
Yes, very nice. Very good.
Aw.
Say I love treats.
Let's walk down the road a little bit.
Come on, Jules.
So we do this session, these type of training sessions, just like what you're seeing here, on our property in a very low distraction. Obviously we have lots of distractions here, but it's slower than going out in public. For several sessions, usually 6 to 8 sessions like this. In the course of, don't walk too fast, we're getting rain on us now. In the course of the first couple of days. With Jules, we're going to try to come back and show you this. We're going to do it just once a day because we have a lot more time with Jules that we can work with her, and so we can spread it out, and so you guys can see exactly how it looks. And she's got to go to the bathroom, so I'm
Looks
going
like
to take the
it's
camera
real
off
life
here.
for sure.
We're going to keep it G-rated. And so we're going to spread it out so you guys can see, but a normal training dog, we don't have as much time, and so we do several sessions over the course of the first couple of days because our goal is to have the dogs off the leash by the first end of the first week for sure, but more like the first 5 days, get them off the leash, at least on our property. So we try to move a little bit quicker because of time restraints. And with older dogs, you can do that too because they're
They're more mature.
More mature,
Yeah,
right? Things don't distract them as easy. They've got more time. They're more attention. They can spend. I can't think of the word. Anyway,
It's
focus.
really about maturity.
Right, but
I mean,
also we have time with Jules because we have her for another 3 months, and so we can spread this out, and you
Jules,
guys can see how it looks each day. But typically, these daily sessions will be done over the course of just a couple days, and we would do more than one a
Right,
day.
yeah, we
so-
would do 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5 sessions a day, whatever it takes.
So walk
In
down-
short bursts.
walk down the road a
So.
little more.
Jules, here.
Yes, that a girl. Way to go, girl.
So every time he says the word Jules, he's pushing the button at the same time. We teach them their name and then that recall. And so as soon as she starts to come, he releases it. So she already knows that when she hears her name, she's supposed to come. So she's learning that this strange feeling. Wait a minute, he's calling me, and what I normally do.
Yes, that a girl. Very nice.
You can
Very
walk
nice.
back up.
You are
All right,
such a good
18
girl.
minutes.
You are such a good girl.
And that's it. And
She's
it's
doing
short
really
and
well.
it's fun and it's simple. And like I said, we'll do this today.
Whoops.
We'll do it again tomorrow. Probably do it for 5-6 days in a row. And then we'll throw a few new commands in here and there, and we'll just kind of show you how all this looks. So this is how it looks for a brand new dog. First session on the e-collar. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Little
just-
Jules. Say bye, guys. Guys, see you later. Don't jump on me. You're all dirty.
Jules, here.
Yes, that a girl. Come on.